Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hotel Orloff here in historic Rural Retreat, Virginia. It's Thursday night, June 8th, 2023, in the year of our Lord, and we're up here in the 14th floor of the Hotel Orloff, the top level special broadcast. We've just heard that they've indicted Donald J. Trump again, so he's supposed to appear in Miami something on Tuesday afternoon to be indicted. And obvious election interference. Of course, it was scheduled, on the same day that they showed that Biden took a total of $10 million in bribes in order to, it's why basically the whole Ukraine thing happened. But you're not supposed to talk about that, right, ladies and gentlemen? But I just thought I would let you know that we here in Rural Retreat, Virginia, we here at the Hotel Orloff completely support Donald J. Trump, and hopefully you do too, ladies and gentlemen. But that being said, having said that, let's go look at some monster magazines and comic books, ladies and gentlemen, and try to avoid hitting this light, which I always seem to do every time I'm up here. I always hit my head on it, but I didn't do it this time. You can't, no. Look at this perfume bottle of a mermaid from Peter Pan. This is a gift for my wife. All kinds of cool stuff. Yes, this is the little scene, top level of the Hotel Orloff. It's a little hot up here. See if there's anything I can show you that's intriguing up here. No, probably not. Let's head on down. Let's see. Oh, here's a blast from the past. Here's a picture of me. Well, it's a little dusty, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Picture of me back many years ago. How about that? And picture of me even younger. Everything's so dusty up here, man. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? You believe it? There we go. That's in focus. Yes, indeed. Look at this Elvira display from the 90s. Okay, all right, fantastic. Just wanted to register my support and the support of the Hotel Orloff for Donald J. Trump. And boy, my hair looks insane. I better, let's see. Well, let's see what we got in here. We were in here 2 times today. We did 2 shows today in the comic book room. And, oh, I see. I gotta turn this light on. Yeah. There we go. That light must be burned out. Sure must. Que lástima. Okay, well, what's going on here? Oh, let's get a few more lights on. Yeah, it looks like once I get everything organized, I need to do a lot of dusting as well. Here's some copies of Fist of the North Star that I just found that need to be filed into these independent boxes. But what was I wanting to do? I was wanting to find boxes, M boxes, and boxes for comics that start with the letter N. And let's see if I can find that. Thor to where creatures roam. How strange. Okay. What's over here? Gold Key Comics. Where monsters dwell to world's finest. Let's see about this box. Oh, these are digest-sized books. Could write that on here. Okay, there were some questions about the Tomb of Terror. The Tomb of Terror is a 2-hour long television program that I create, but it is only available on DVD. And I have 23. I should have 24 episodes by the end of the day tomorrow, depending on whether I have access to the television to do some editing. It's in the vein of The Hypnotic Eye from the 1990s. Joe Riley created that show because of a magazine I put out called The Sophisticate, and he said to me, I want to do a video version for Dallas Public Access of your magazine. I want it to be just like that, but a video version. And I've got this great idea for a puppet that'll host it. Anyway, I said, sure, and I helped him with the first maybe 7, 8 episodes. Anyway, Tomb of Terror is just like that. Joe Riley, unfortunately, has passed from this Vale of Tears, and I put out Tomb of Terror, started it a couple months ago. You want to catch an episode, I'm selling it basically the same price that Something Weird used to sell their videos for back in the 80s and 90s, like $20. They used to sell each video VHS for $20. I'm selling each DVD for $20, and that includes postage, which means I make about $15, $14. But if you get a whole bunch of the episodes, I can work with you on postage. Just let me know. So anyway, you just send to PayPal. Where's the electric cord for this phone? Send to PayPal. PayPal at Kenneth Weinert, KENNETHWEINERT. I left the electric cord for this phone up in the attic. The last episode would have gone longer, but the phone ran out of juice. Okay. Hey, Drew the dog, how you doing? She's been doing some reverse sneezing tonight. Reverse sneezing, and she's only done that a few times in her life. My beagle, Daisy, used to do that all the time. It's something beagles do. It's scary, but it's not dangerous, but it's a little scary to hear the dog in distress. It sounds like they're having trouble breathing or kind of choking or something, but it's what you got to do to help them when they get into that situation is you just hold you just close their nostrils. You just hold their nostrils shut, and it stops it like instantly. But it's something exclusive to beagles. 1 second. All right, let's look at some comic books, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you came here, right? Okay. You've heard of Mary Pickford, one of the original big movie stars. Look at this picture of Mary Pickford. Try not to have the light. Trying to avoid the light. Oh, that'll be good. Do it at this angle. Mary Pickford. And you know, Allison Hayes, star of a lot of monster movies of the 1950s. Allison Hayes. There's a whole YouTube channel I just discovered last night devoted to Allison Hayes. There's a lot of her movies and stuff. Well, yeah, there's some definite demonic witchcraft going on from the Democrat Party. This is not, you know, all the other people, DeSantis, anyone running against Trump, and you know, Kennedy running for the, you know, Democrat nomination. They should all be there Tuesday at that courthouse or wherever it is Trump has to appear on Tuesday. They should all be there in support, because this is something that's bigger than everything. You know, this is a direct attack on our republic from these Satan worshiping people. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe you like Joe Biden. If you like Joe Biden and you're watching this channel, I can't even imagine. What's wrong with you? Okay. Oh. Someone was asking to see Fantastic Four comics. Okay. Here's Millie's red-headed rival, Chili. Chili #1. This is a Marvel comic, obviously trying to mimic Archie. Let's get this box over here. Oh boy, well, how many? Here's Creatures on the Loose. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to get these. Oh, there's the Conan books. That's what I was looking for, man. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I was wanting to file this fake Conan the Barbarian #1 into this box, into the box with my Silver Age books. Now, some people consider the Bronze Age to have begun with the publication of Conan the Barbarian #1. I've heard people say that, and to me, I certainly see why people would say that. But to me, as I've said, it started a little bit later. When to me, the Bronze Age begins when this strip appears at the top, Marvel Comics Group, and the price was 20 cents. When it went to 20 cents, everything 15 cents and under, to me, is Silver Age. Anyway, I'm going to put this in here. But what I want to do, yeah, I'm going to move these Creatures on the Loose, even though I'm going to move these Creatures on, oh man, should I? I'm going to move these Creatures on the Loose comics in with the Marvel horror books. Now, Creatures on the Loose #10 is King Cole. It's early Robert E. Howard. #11 is reprints of Marvel monster books from the 60s. I've got 2 copies of 11, and then a copy of 12. So I'm going to put those in with the Marvel horror books Oh, good, that box isn't buried. That's easy to find. Okay, and that gives me a little bit more play in this box. You still recording? Good. All right. You guys need to stop falling over, man. What's wrong with you? It's too early for that. Okay. So, what else? Let's. Here's another copy of Chili. Millie's red-headed rival. Millie, the model, you know, is a. And 10. You guys need to stop falling over. You bend this leg back. Okay, you're not gonna fall over again, are you? Stop that. Stop that horsing around, that nonsense, that tomfoolery, man. Falling over. Too early for that. Okay. Chili 10. Okay, so then Conan the Barbarian begins, and so we'll put this recent last couple. Maybe this is about 2 years old, I think. This reprint of Conan the Barbarian #1 from 1970. It looks like I have reprints, but I don't have 2, 3, 4, or 5. Here's Conan the Barbarian #6. Barry Smith art. He later became Barry Windsor Smith as he became more, because it sounds more artistic. I don't know why he added the Windsor. I guess it sounds fancier. Issue 7 still has the corner box, so I still consider it to be Silver Age. And I think 9 might be the last issue, in my opinion, that's Silver Age for Conan. And Conan is mainly known as a Bronze Age hero. Now, Daredevil. I don't have a very good Daredevil collection, and there's really no excuse. Daredevil was pretty affordable back in the 70s, but I didn't, I bought what I could find and what I could afford, In the 70s, my income, I forget what my allowance was, but I could augment my allowance by mowing the lawn, and I got a certain amount of money for mowing the lawn, washing and waxing. I don't think people wax cars anymore, but I would wash and wax my dad's 1969 Ford Fairlane station wagon. I think that was what it was, Ford Fairlane. Light blue, and then my mom had a light blue Dodge Dart Swinger from 1972, so I'd wash and wax those 2 cars, and I'd get some money for that. And then that would be what I would take to Lone Star Comics when that opened in the summer of 77 to buy old comics. Oh, here's an issue of Daredevil without a cover that I got in a package of Wounded Wonders. That's what they called them at Lone Star. Here's 35. I wish I had more Daredevils. I just don't have many. 39. 40. 44. I'm thinking of starting a store where I sell Donald Trump merchandise. What do you think of that idea? Here's issue 52. They're trying to make it look like a Steranko cover, but it isn't. Trying to make it look hip and Steranko-like. Oh, this is a nice cover. 53. Gene Colan. You can tell he's got those Gene Colan lips, those pouty Dracula lips. It said Gene Colan, their lips always look like that. We talk about 55. Another copy of 55. 56. This is a, see that head there? That's, if you look up a movie called The Mask, it's a horror movie from, I think, about 1960. You'll see where they got the design for that head of that character, Death's Head. Okay, here's Daredevil 57. Daredevil 62. Man, I wish I had more Daredevils, but in my defense, I was also buying records, movie posters, and monster magazines, and everything that makes white life worth living, I was buying back in the 70s. Wow. 68. That's nice. I think that's a Marie Severin drawing. Pretty sure. Could be John Severin. The style of the brother and sister, Marie and John Severin, were very similar. This looks like Marie Severin as well, 74. You can just kind of tell Marie Severin was so great. Maybe I have more Daredevil than I realized, 75. But everybody else seems like, yeah, they got Daredevil #1 and that cool one with, him fighting the Submariner, the Wally Wood art. I just don't have those key issues. 78. I have issues with people that collect key issues only. That's all you collect, but you don't care about this issue, because it's not a key issue. Well then. Okay, so you can tell that this is where the Silver Age is ending for me. It says only 15 cents. They're warning you, okay, we're about to go up to 20 cents. Actually, Marvel went up to 25 cents and added pages. DC did the same thing. They went up to 25 cents and added pages. But Marvel only did it for about 2 months. And then they swapped. They went back to comics this size, not as thick, and they were 20 cents. And they gave the news dealers more of a share of the profits. They gave them a bigger cut. And DC was kind of caught with their pants down, because the kids would rather buy a 20-cent book than a 25-cent book, just because it's cheaper, even though it has the DC 25-cent books. They had some reprints from the Golden Age and cool stuff in the back. Kids wanted to spend less. So DC eventually came around. It took them a while, and they lowered their comics to 20 cents. So when everything stabilized, when Marvel went to 20 cents and DC went to 20 cents, that's when I consider the Bronze Age to have started. Here's Daredevil Special #1. #2. The Beatles should have just gone #2, instead of #9. Because it just would have been funnier, right? Let's see. DC Special #2. DC Special. What number? Oh, #14. I missed quite a few issues, it looks like. This is cool. Reprints. The Most Dangerous Villains. But see, it's thicker and it's 25 cents. I just said, yeah. I hate that. See, I've got it on my list of hated phrases. At least I didn't say so in front of it. So, yeah. Having said that, that being said, going forward, I will try to not say, so yeah, because it is a microaggression and it triggers me. I will build back better. But it is what it is. Oh, boy. That Chuck Schumer seems like a nice guy, doesn't he? He doesn't look sinister at all. Here's number... Could these not be in order, possibly? Why would... What insanity? Okay, this was #2. Number two. Here's #3. Look at that cool cover. Okay, #3. And then there's number 14. Okay, and then I just put these in. If you watched the last episode, I was trying to find this box to put in Detective Comics number 27. This is a real copy. No, it's fake. It's a fake copy. Nerds call them facsimiles. Cool hipsters call them fake. I'm a cool hipster, man. I'm so cool. This is a fake Detective Comics number 38 with the first Robin. These are fake comics that have come out within the last year. And then we go to a real Detective Comics. We've gone past a few issues. We're up to issue 271. And it's a 10-cent comic, which comics were in the 50s and 40s and 30s. Ooh. Okay, so now my next issue of Detective Comics is 298. Now, see, it's got a purple cover, but they were smart enough to print the number in white. But when they print the number in black ink on top of a purple background, it's hard to read. Now, it's got some numbering there that I guess happened from the newsstand distributor. I guess those numbers there in grease pencil meant something to them. It also has an autograph here. No, this is not from the Betty Page collection. This is from Betty Cooper, the girl that Betty in the Archie comics is based on. This was. Did you know that was a real person? Anyway, it's the Menace of Clayface. How about that? A key issue. All right, Detective Comics 306. This is another key issue. Detective Comics 317. Now, I could get these comics pretty cheap too when they would show up at Lone Star Comics back in the late 70s, early 80s. And when they showed up, I got them. But, you know, here's what I keep telling you guys. See how it's dated August? But look at the date stamp. June 27th, it was received in the AM. So comics marked August are actually came out in June and sat on the stands for a couple of months. And then when it got to be August, then they knew, okay, it's time to pull that comic. If it hasn't sold in 2 months, it's probably not ever going to sell. And it's probably already all tattered and destroyed after 2 months of sitting there with kids pawing at it. Here's Detective Comics 324. I was talking to this woman who voted for Biden, and she said, comic books have never been meant for kids. They've always been for adults. They have violence in them, and violence is bad for children. They've always been meant for adults. Like, no, look at the ads in them. They're clearly meant for kids. They were thinking of the comics of today, and they didn't know anything about comics. I always love this cover. I can't read the number, though, because, again, it's black ink on purple background. But what a magnificent cover. Batman and Robin are mummies. Maybe if I give it a close-up view, we can see that. Can't really. Oh, well, it's one of the issues of Detective Comics. Now, if I think I've told you this before, that people under a certain age today, when they hear the word issue, they don't think of magazines or comics, because magazines and comics really don't exist anymore in their world. They hear the word issue, they think problems. Someone has issues, you know. So that's, but a long time ago, if I said, oh, I've got that issue of Detective Comics number 330, then anyone would understand what you meant. But that was long ago. Long ago. Okay, so Well, one thing about, see, Batman just has a bat on his chest, a black bat, right? In 1965, let's see if we can find the transition point. Right about here, around about this time. See how he looks a little bit different, a little more serious in the way he's drawn. In 65, that was like the new look for Batman. It was like a new direction. They portrayed him more as a detective, and they added that yellow oval around the bat. And you think, well, how does the yellow oval... Well, they've retconned it so many times over the years. They finally explained he wants you to shoot him right here because he's got armor under it. That's something someone came up with later. It's like a target. You know, you shoot me here because that's the one spot I'm protected. But that was done later. It's like there was a comic in the late 70s, early 80s where they explained what everyone always wondered. It's like, why is Lois Lane? Why she's supposed to be a really smart woman, but how does she not know that Clark Kent and Superman are the same person? I mean, it's so obviously. He just puts on glasses and she can't recognize him. And they explained that the glass in his glasses came from his rocket ship that he was rocketed to Earth from Krypton when he was a baby. And that glass has special properties. So when he puts the glasses on, it distorts the light around his face and makes him look different. You know, he puts on his glasses, all of a sudden his facial structure looks different to anyone looking at him. So that's how they explained it. Now, whether or not they've kept that in continuity, I don't remember the issue number. I could probably find out. Eric Breen would probably know immediately. Eric Breen is our resident comic book expert, walking encyclopedia, member of the Four Color Fossils. Yeah. I didn't mean to bring up that incident where I was timed on the Four Color Fossil show. I did that a couple episodes ago, and I probably shouldn't have, you know, because I'd made up with the guy that was timing me, and just to see how long I would go on, and it just hurt my feelings. And, you know, that was kind of a time when I was not feeling good around my birthday, and that was just the wrong time. And anyway, I made up with it, the guy that was timing me, and so all is well. Okay, well, this is real. This is something I bought at Lone Star Comics. This is when they brought in Batgirl, the new Batgirl. There had been a Batgirl in the 1950s, but this is the Batgirl as she was, and she was brought in because they added Batgirl for the third season of the Batman TV show to bring up the ratings. And so she was really created for the TV show and then put into the comics. So this is the first appearance of Batgirl. This is a pricey book. It's in pretty good shape. Looks like there's kind of a thumbprint there, you know, or some kid with grubby fingers. But, you know, I don't see... Seems pretty good. I don't know. You could tell me what rating you'd give it. I'm used to the old ratings of good, fine, mint, poor, but now everyone knows this number system. Oh, I was telling you a story. Okay, so so Batman got kind of serious and stopped going to other planets and things there in 65. But when the TV show came on, they started making the comic book sillier to reflect the TV show. You can see that more in the Batman comic, more so than in the detective. I mean, they would put the big sound effects on the cover and stuff when they, you know, hit each other and stuff. Looks like Detective Comics didn't go quite as camp. But, you know, this is the... I said, but yeah. At least it wasn't so, yeah. This is Detective Comics, ladies and gentlemen. My collection of Detective Comics. I'm very proud of my collection of Detective Comics, and it's Pride Month, so I think in Pride Month, the reason we have Pride Month is so you can show things you're proud of. And this is something that took years to collect, so therefore I'm proud of it. Let's see. This is a great. I've got to run in my stockings. Yeah. I guess I'm supposed to be giving you issue numbers. Look at that, man. You can see right up their nostrils, man. Okay. Things are about to change, though. Things are about to get more serious looking here shortly. Yeah, they're starting to look a little more serious looking, and more the way that if you grew up in the 70s, you saw Batman all the time. But you know, people that are around today, they think Batman wears all this black armor like a SWAT team member, and it's all black. But to me, Batman was gray and blue. Yeah, see, when we get into this the Neil Adams years where things get very, so things change. And they become very kind of gothic looking. And see, that was a 15 center, but then see here, DC goes up to 25 cents, but they give you 52 big pages for that. But, you know, kids didn't, that extra money, they didn't go crazy for that, so they dropped it back down to 20 cents. Oh, here's a Doctor Strange 174. It's carrying on the numbering of Strange Tales. He appeared in Strange Tales, and they gave him his own comic, but they just changed the name Strange Tales to Doctor Strange. And he was in the comic with Nick Fury, and then they gave Nick Fury his own comic, which started at issue 1. But there for a brief while, Doctor Strange had a costume where his whole face was covered. Didn't last long. Oh, here's my Doom Patrol collection. It's not a very good one. I wish I had more. I dearly love this comic. It was a DC comic, but it felt very much like a Marvel comic of the time period. It was very well written. It was just a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And it was a comic that no one really collected, and I was buying it up because I loved it. Then they came out with this art school version of Doom Patrol. Where it was all, for people that are going to school in art, art school, the cool comic to read, and maybe it was great and everything, but that's more what the TV show that's on right now. I guess it's still in production. I'm not sure. It's more based on that newer Doom Patrol. That started coming out, but I wanted the old 60s Doom Patrol. And I tried to convince this buddy of mine. It's like, you need to get these old Doom Patrol comics. He says, no, I like these new ones. These new mature... What did they call it? Vertigo is the DC's line of mature comics. Because, after Dark Knight and Watchmen, DC thought that was the thing to do. We'll market comics to these college kids. But I wanted this. I wanted the 1960s Doom Patrol books. Okay. Doom Patrol. But it's not doom for Donald J. Trump. They're not going to bring him down, man. They'll never bring him down. Because ultimately, if you're religious at all, if you believe in God, ultimately, God's going to triumph. The good guys are ultimately going to win. You have to have confidence in that. Don't give up. Some people here in the comic book community, they don't want to talk about politics at all. Let's just show our comics and feel nostalgic about them, and it's, oh, isn't it wonderful, and kumbaya. We'll just forget that all these horrible things are happening in the world. You can't forget that the country is in the middle of a Marxist revolution taken over by virtual demon-possessed people. And you gotta watch out for this, you know. Imagine if the founding fathers is like, yeah, let's look at our comic books and let's forget about the King of England. Sure is bad, but remember when Beast Boy met Minto? If you remember that, you'll just forget about the fact that they're putting British soldiers in, kicking your kids out of their bedroom and putting British soldiers into their bed, and they have to sleep on the floor. You'll forget about the insane taxes. All right. Fantastic, fantastic book. This is one you know, back then I bought all these My Light bags back then in the 80s, and back then they didn't even have boards on comics, and I put all these comics I really valued in these My Light bags, and I get made fun of for using them. It's like, who uses those My Light bags? No, I've always had these books in the My Light bags. They haven't disintegrated. They've been in there since the 80s, and you know, people look down on me and how I collect comics, and you know how I think and how long I talk, and it's like, you know, people just want to, you know, I don't know. I just do what I do, you know. Would I like to put boards in with these books? Yeah, I would. I'd like to get new supplies. I will someday. Maybe if, who knows what'll happen. Maybe, who knows. Look at this great ad. But for right now, this is how things are, you know. I'm just sharing stuff with you, but I don't. Look at that. Kind of looks like Joe Riley's creation for the Hypnotic Eye. Yeah, I got a lot of Doom Patrols because I drive all over the place. Back then, Lone Star Comics got pretty successful. They had locations all over Dallas, Arlington. They had several locations in Arlington and Fort Worth. I think they even had a store or two in Oklahoma. I never drove up that far, but I would drive over to Dallas and places, you know, drive 30 minutes just to see if the other stores had other issues of Doom Patrol that I didn't have, or the Fantastic Four. Okay, we're getting into the late 60s, into the psychedelic LSD years. My older brothers, they were much older than me. I was born in 65. They were born in the early 50s, and they said my brother Michael told me he stopped buying comics when he said Superman and Batman were both injected with like LSD or something and were hallucinating. I don't know if that happened, but there must have been some kind of hallucination sequence in one of those books that just really put him off. This is is it the beginning or the end of the Doom Patrol? You decide. Yeah, they were on an island and it blew up, and then 10 years later they brought the comic book Showcase back, and they brought the Doom Patrol back, but it was like a different Doom Patrol Robot Man was like rebuilt. It was, I don't know. They later brought some of those characters back. I don't know exactly how they did that. Here's a DC romance comic, Falling in Love. Here's another DC romance comic. Flip through this. Yeah, these comics are a lot of fun. As a little boy, I wouldn't be caught dead picking up a romance comic. I just figured that this is exclusively a girl's province, are these books. But as you get older, you realize the artwork really is spectacular in these books, and sometimes reading them, they're really funny. Not just sometimes, usually they are very funny. I was looking through here for this particular artist. There's a female artist. I don't remember her name right now, but she did a lot of artwork in these DC romance books, and I was trying to see if some of her artwork was in here. Look at these psychedelic paintings you could get for your dorm room or your bedroom. Wow. How to play folk guitar. Out of sight products. Oh, look at Sean Cassidy. No, I'm sorry, David Cassidy. I'm showing my age. Being a little bit younger. When I was in junior high, everyone loved, all the girls loved Sean Cassidy, who was the younger brother. David Cassidy was the one that, his older brother was the one on Partridge Family that was such a big hit. You know, around 69, about 1970, right? Okay, so, how about that? Okay, here's some of my earliest Fantastic Fours. A really trashed copy of number 15. It's got, you know, tape residue on the side. But, you know, it's Fantastic Four 15. And I can't tell you how much I love the Fantastic Four. Doom Patrol. I just love this. This one I just got recently from, just for $5. It's in, the cover's detached. The back cover doesn't even exist, but the front cover is completely detached. The comic itself is intact and readable, but that's not the ideal state for a comic. Okay, so that was number 17, and then I go to 22. I have a pretty good run of Fantastic Four once you get to a certain point in the 60s. Here's 24. I got this one for less than $10 a few years ago, just because it's not in great shape. But okay, this is 28, and you probably think it's an X-Men comic. Someone carefully trimmed off the Fantastic Four logo. It's very strange how they were very careful to cut around the text box. I guess they were sending it back